Hello students, we're going to make this problem 1-4 3D model and technical drawing in this video lesson. Go ahead and open up Autodesk Inventor. We're going to start a new part. This part is in inches, so we don't have to do anything to the software, but just double check in Tools, Document Settings that your unit is set to inches. Close that box. Let's go back to 3D model. Click on Start a 2D sketch. And we know that this part is 2 inches wide. And we have this 1 inch mark right here. So we're going to make a rectangle that's 2 by 1. We're going to start on the XZ plane. Go to your view cube, turn that so the top view is normal. Click on the rectangle tool. And right off the bat, we're going to press 2, tab 1, enter, and finish your sketch. This says right here 0.5, so we're going to extrude by 0.5. Oopsies, escape. I'm going to click extrude, and let's make that 0.5 in distance. Press enter. And then let's go ahead and cut out this angle right here. So on that top surface, right click new sketch. And again, let's turn it on its side so we can see it. And it says that this line right here is 0.25, and then this distance right here is 1.25. So what we'll do is we'll draw a line. So don't snap it to the midpoint. So if that snaps that green dot, don't do that. Just click on the line and then click somewhere here. And again, don't snap to the midpoint. Okay, so we just want an angled line to start, and then we'll dimension that. So we'll click on the point, click on this point, and make that 0.25, and then the line will move up like you just saw. And this distance is 1.25, so we'll do the same thing. So from the corner point to the point of the line, make that 1.25, enter, and that gives us the angle that we need shown here. We're going to close up that triangle shape by just drawing lines from the points to the corners like you see here. Finish your sketch, and you can probably guess what we're going to do next. That is Extrude Cut. So click on Extrude, click your Cut button, all, and then OK. So now we have the bottom half of this part. We're going to draw this top piece right here. It shows us that that piece is 0.5 thick. This right here gives us a view of the dimensions. So it's 0.75 tall, and it's 0.25 between this point and this point. So what I'll do is I'll start by drawing this view right here on the other side. So I'll go back to your sketch. We're going to do a new sketch on this surface. So new sketch. And this time I'm going to click project geometry so I can get those lines to help me out. I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw a rectangle like that on top of it. And then I dimension. So 0.75 here. So the top, this distance is 0.75. And then we know its total distance is 1.25, so that's going to be 1.25. We're doing this backwards, by the way. And then we draw a line, just like we did earlier, like that, an angled line. And we're going to dimension that point to this edge and make that 0.75. And then from the point here to here, go back to the drawing, that's 0.25 inches. Okay, and then we use the trim. So here's your trim command. We can also tap X on the keyboard, and you should be able to trim those two pieces right there. And something happened, so I'm going to delete this dimension. Let's delete that dimension. and then make sure that between here and here is 1.25. There we go. Okay. Finish your sketch. And we're going to extrude in that direction. So if I click the home, we're going to extrude coming towards us. So click extrude, click your shape, click this guy right here so it goes the other way. We know that distance is 0.5 because I'm looking at the drawing, and then click OK. And that's problem 1-4. So click your save button and title it problem 1-4. Press save. And from this view, we're just going to go straight into the technical drawing. So click on your new button, click on drawing, let that load. It's taking a minute. It might take a minute on yours. And we have to set up this sheet so that it's the proper size. So on sheet 1, right click, edit sheet. And you're always going to use size A in our class because that is the printer size sheet of paper. Click OK. And then we're going to change the title block. So we're going to click on this ANSI large. We're going to delete it. We're going to open up drawing resources. So you just tap that little triangle or the plus. Click on the title blocks one. And then you see it says ANSI A. We're going to right click, insert. It gives you a smaller text box. And we can click on base. And we're going to move the drawing view menu out of the way so that we can move our front view down into the left here. This is your front view, just like it's shown here in the drawing. And we're going to leave it scaled 1:1. And then we're going to move our mouse to the top right here. So we click one time, that gives us our top view. Move to the side, click one time, that gives us our side view. And then go to the top right hand corner and click one time, that gives you your isometric view. Click OK. We're going to then double click on the isometric. So you'll see like these little red dots pop up around your part. Double click that. And then we want to shade it. So we'll click on the shaded button and then click OK. That colors our part here. Our next step is then to dimension the part. So we'll click on the Annotate tab, click on Dimension, and start dimensioning from point to point. So from this point to this point. So we'll click on the point, and let that snap into where it wants to snap into. If you get the Edit Dimension window pop up, click on this to uncheck that. It gets annoying after some time. Okay. You can use your mouse wheel to zoom in and zoom out. And then let's see, we got this dimension here. So if you wanted to dimension things a little quicker, if you hover over it, the line will turn red or another color. And then you can click and then place it. You don't want your extension lines to connect with the part at all. So to ensure that, you would click on the corners. So for example, this dimension is 0.75. We click on this corner and then this corner and then come this way with it. Okay, so that's the proper dimension right there. Same thing with this guy. So we click on the corners so they don't touch. Okay, so let me undo and show you what I mean. If I were to just click right here, see how that extension line is touching the part? That's a no-no. We don't want that. So we click on the corner and it gives us a nice extension line. This guy right here, we can move that to the top by just grabbing the number and literally moving it with your mouse. All right, let's get this 0.5 out here. So dimension right there. Now we need this 1. Just like that. And then this 0.5. See how my 0.5 ended up on the right side? We don't want that either. Let's move it to the inside here. So remember, on your dimensioning guidelines, you want to try and keep all your dimensions as centered as possible. It would not be okay to put a dimension on this side unless you absolutely had to. Like there was no other way for you to show that dimension. And there you have it. There's problem 1-4 fully dimensioned and 3D modeled in under 10 minutes. If you get stuck, let me know. But before you move on, make sure you click the save button and save that drawing. And let's update the title block. So we're going to right click on where it says your problem 1-4. Click on I Properties. Click on your Summary tab. And in all caps, the title is problem 1-4. Subject is engineering. Author is your name. So my name is Eric Cruz, so I'm going to put Eric Cruz. Manager, I am your manager, so you're going to put Cruz. Company, put Kensington. And there you go. Apply and OK, and you'll see your title block update. If you're connected to the printer, press Control P. Make sure your scale is best fit, and then just click OK. Okay, so if you're not connected to the printer, ask me how to get connected to the printer, and we're gonna start printing all of our parts and keeping a portfolio of all the parts that we make.